All right. Do you believe that the higher use of technology in teens is beneficial or harmful?
Overall, I think it's harmful because it takes away from so many other things. I mean, they don't know how to communicate anymore. They're not as physically active. So overall, it's too much.
All right. What health issues have you seen, like personally, that you think have occurred due to this new wave of technology?
From a health standpoint, probably the only thing, and you can blame this on a lot of things, is probably just childhood obesity, just because their inactivity. And then that leads to adult onset diabetes, which I have several patients that are under 12 that already have signs of adult onset diabetes.
All right. In your professional opinion, how do we solve this issue of too much technology? Like, in other words, do you believe limitations should be set?
There should be limitations, but because everything functions in technology, everything is in technology right now. I mean, you can't go to high school now without a Google Chromebook, right?
Yeah.
So, or their notes are on their phone or on the internet. So unfortunately, I don't know how to limit that, but it needs to be limited.
Right.
Nobody knows how to use a book anymore. It's all just right there.
Right. All right. Why do you think cell phone use is more dominant in teens?
It's just easy access to the world. You know, and teens now, they don't work as hard as teens when I was a kid.
Right.
And everything is just easy, push a button and they have access. And social media and friends and communication. They don't have to wait for a phone to ring and someone to pick up. They can communicate via text and almost get instant gratification. So I think teens like that instant gratification of the phone and the here and now. Whereas, you know, at home when I was a kid, you waited for that phone to ring.
Right. Well, going off of that, do you think now, since technology is more dominant in teenagers rather than in your age, do you think that back then it would have the same effect if you had cell phone use?
Probably. I mean, unfortunately, it's not age specific, and if you look at adults, just as many adults are glued to their phones and tablets as kids are. I think it's just more visual with the teens because they're getting them so little. You know, they're starting at 8 and 9 and 10 with their, even younger, with their tablets, and then they get their phones in elementary school, and then they get their iPhones and their whatever, it's Galaxies when they're in junior high school. So I think a different time, sure, technology is technology. People thrive on that.
Right. Okay, so I read an article, and it said that 92% of children have an online presence before the age of 2. What is your opinion on that? It doesn't have to be
That's unfortunate. That's very sad if that's true. I don't know those statistics, but if that's true, that's disturbing.
Right.
There's matching games and books and puzzles and things like that those kids should be doing, not online presence. I mean, I'm sure it's, and what their parents view is either movies to keep them occupied or even from what they believe are educational whatevers, you know, to make their kids smarter. But God, that's disturbing if that's high.
Yeah, I read that and I was kind of shocked. I was
it's probably movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, it's probably babysitter, in all honesty. Right. But a lot of parents think that, oh, I'm going to get my kid that Einstein, you know, baby Einstein, make them smarter. Well, you're not really helping.
Yeah.
You know, because there's other things to do.
All right. Do you think this overuse will cause long-term effects, like in our generation specifically?
I do. I think, and it's not like medically, but it's going to, communication is a problem. And, you know, when kids your age can't communicate, how are they supposed to communicate in the adult world and to function at a level to communicate on a political or health or like any playing field? I mean, my daughter once, my oldest daughter, who's almost 19, when she was getting her first job at 16, she asked her then 9-year-old sister, 10-year-old sister, to call and ask for a job for her because she couldn't communicate. It's all texting.
Yeah.
So she had her little sister call to see if there were job openings. I'm like, oh my God, that's a problem.
Yeah. All right. I think this is my final question. We had to do a lot of research leading up to the interviews, and I also read another study that said scientists are now linking anxiety disorders and depression to the use of technology. What do you think about that?
I agree. Again, because of cyberbullying and what you put on text, and then that spreads like wildfire. And these poor kids, the problems are the same from when I was a kid. The problem, dating and social and whatever, everything is the same. The problem is it's amplified and it spreads like wildfire because of social media. And you say the wrong thing, you wear the wrong thing, you dress the wrong way, or you hang out with the wrong person, and it's pressing a button and it's gone. And now you are all over the internet, wherever it is, at school, abroad. I mean, it's just sad. And these kids can't function. I mean, how many teen suicides have been the result of cyberbullying?
True. All right. Well, that's the wrap up of our interview. Do you have any last minute messages or anything that you'd like to say to the younger teens about technology? Yeah.
To the world. Pick up a book. Pick up a book and write a letter, write a journal, do a puzzle, do a word search. Stimulate your brain other ways. It's just, you don't need all that stuff.
Right.
They just need to communicate. They have to learn to communicate. Eye contact is so important. Kids don't have that.
All right. Well, thank you very